News from Eureka Classics is the Diabolical Dr. Z, a Jesús Franco film from 1966. And Franco is a filmmaker that I continually watch his movies, but I never fully connect. I never get there to the love that other people have with this one. And much like my favourite Franco film, Faceless, this has a little bit in common with Eyes Without a Face as well, which, isn't a bad thing. It's all about the brilliant scientist Dr. Zimmer, who is ridiculed by his peers. And when he dies of a heart attack, his daughter Irma decides that the only course of action, the only true way to really honour her father's legacy is revenge against the people who ridiculed him.
And we order you to stop your inhuman experiments.
Yes,
No, because... No, don't, no.
And she uses her father's experimental nerve control machine. She reanimates the dead and turns a beautiful nightclub performer, Nadia, into her instrument of vengeance. But as Irma's control begins to falter, desire, guilt and madness take over, and the Doctor's creation begins to think for herself. I did enjoy elements of this one. It's a fusion of mad scientist revenge thriller and erotic gothic fantasy. It's a bit of a strange mix. It pulses with smoky jazz clubs, masked assassins, some really good black and white cinematography that feels like a kind of fever dream, somewhat between Eyes Without a Face and kind of Vertigo, but those films are way, way better than this one. It's a film that has a little bit of everything flung into it. It has the kind of cabaret sequences, it has this science fiction element, it has this moment of eroticism throughout it, and it feels like a kind of spy thriller at times as well. It has all of these things going on with it, but it has this precise direction by Franco. It doesn't allow the film to falter too far from the narrative, and he keeps it on the straight and narrow most of the film, but putting in these little artistic flourishes that I did kind of like. There's one with a woman writhing across the floor in a giant kind of spider's web, and yes, it's on the nose, but aesthetically it was really well shot. It was an interesting idea and really conveyed what it was doing at that moment. And what I like most about this is most of the agency comes from Irma. The female character within this one. It's all about feminine revenge, and it kind of transforms the mad scientist trope into an almost gender power struggle where Irma weaponizes beauty and desire, which I thought was a really great way to go. It was an interesting tack and really added a lot into it, a great deal of identity and a great deal of manipulation going with it. The turning Nadia's body into the ultimate site of control was just terrific. The idea of her seducing the men, the poisoned fingernails, was a great idea, and you get to see it in action a good few times, and it was interesting. There's a strange feeling in amongst Z here, where it's set against contemporary Europe, but it has this classic gothic feeling to it, but it mixes it with noir as well. The more I think about the movie, the more I'm really kind of fascinated with the tale and with the look of it and how it manages to capture all these subgenres but meld them together in a way that feels natural.
He's unconscious.
A lost soul, a convicted killer. Here.
Barbara, bring him inside. What an opportunity, Father.
And a lot of that can be credited with Alessandro Urola's wonderful cinematography, which I really did just love, filled with sensual shadows and surreal compositions that really just elevate this one a little bit above where I thought it was going to land ultimately. This is one of those movies that has got better at the more I think about it, the more it sits with me, the more I contemplate it, the more I want to go back and revisit it again. Because I think there's more there than what I first kind of wrote it off as, just a kind of cheap Franco knockoff. I think it's a little bit better than that. Let's dive into the disc, have a look at the extras. Here we are on the disc for the Diabolical Dr. Z. You have it with the French language, English language, and an audio commentary by Tim Lucas. Death on the Continent, Xavier Aldana Reyes on European Gothic cinema, which runs for 25 minutes 45 seconds. He's talking at the start a brief history of horror before diving into Gothic horror in the 60s and the 70s and how this was the kind of heyday for this, and focuses on the Diabolical Dr. Z. Awful, diabolical, sadistic, mad science in Gothic horror. A video essay by Sam Deegan. This runs for 19 minutes 5 seconds and is all about that wonderful trope of the mad scientist and his effect through many movies that are named here. Jesús Franco as seen by Jean-Claude Carrière. This is an archival interview with the screenwriter and novelist, and it's fun seeing him trying to talk about a movie that was made 55 years ago and his obvious reluctance at first before falling into some great anecdotal stories all about the creator. Lucas Bilbao on the Diabolical Dr. Z is another archival interview. He's a film historian. He's talking about this being Franco's fourth film, how it ties in and follows some of the tropes that he'd set up in his first three films. Stéphane de Mesnildot on the Diabolical Dr. Z runs for 11 minutes and 11 seconds. And you can tell he's an obvious horror fan, as he has this wonderful backdrop of movies which, if you're like me at all, you get lost just looking at it. But luckily enough, he's got some great tales and information and really brings it forward, his passion for this film. Also included in this set is a 16-page booklet, and it has the essay in it, Franco Will See You Now, celebrating 60 years of the Diabolical Dr. Z. There we have it. The Diabolical Dr. Z is a sleek and sensual revenge tale dressed as a gothic science fiction film. It's a great mix. I'd love to know your thoughts on the Diabolical Dr. Z, whether you loved it, hated it, or fell somewhere in the middle. And of course, where do you think it lands within Franco's extensive filmography? My favourite is still Faceless, but this one, I'm going to revisit this one pretty soon, actually. Let me know your thoughts in the comment box below. As always, there's more content up there. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box are links to Patreon membership program, manbfilm.com, always in which you could support. Thanks for watching. See you next time.